Hello, Ray Phoenix here, and this is Time Pilot, one of my favorite underrated classics. I spend a lot of my days playing this Time Pilot game. I'm actually quite the master at it, actually. It's one of the games I'm the best at. I actually have a really good strategy to get a lot of points in this game. I'm not going to do it in this video, though, because the video would be way too dang long if I did in the video. What I recommend doing is you just pick a direction, you stick in that same general direction, and you just keep shooting at, whatever comes your way, and you can always try to avoid the boss at the end of each level. Just shoot down as many fighters as possible and rescue as many people as possible. It can really rack up a lot of points. I actually made a game of this go on for hours on end. I actually made a large score, got a pretty good score, but I don't think you guys want to see that in this video. I want to see a video on that, and there's probably other videos on that. That's my strategy to this game. You see here, we're just flying in a direction, there's a boss on the screen, you have to kill a certain number of enemies. We're in 1910 for the first level, good old 1910, when absolutely nothing bad happened except for these bad airplane things that to shoot. I wonder what war this would have been. I mean, it's 1910, it wasn't World War I yet or anything like that. I don't think there were any major conflicts going on in the world in 1910. Look at that, we already have half 100,000 points already. We've just been playing for a few minutes. I'm just obliterating all of them, everything in my sight. The only thing I really have this game on is the what's it called? The Konami Classics Collection, or no, it's called the Konami Collector Series Arcade Advance for the Game Boy Advance. I actually bought a copy of this Game Boy Advance game new in 2010 when I went to Buffalo and I found it there, and I found a copy of it there. It was factory sealed in 2010. Was it unsold merchandise since then? It probably was. So yeah, I spend the better of my days playing this on Game Boy Advance. I often sneak my Game Boy Advance into bed so I could play Time Pilot. Now we're in 1940, we're probably fighting against Nazis or something like that. And this is the only level in the game that has a different type of enemy has an extra type of enemy that's not the main enemy you kill off. That thing there, you destroy that and you get 1,500 points, and there's still people you have to rescue. You can shoot down those Nazi scumbags that are, they're probably polluting our skies with their stuff, their Nazism crap. So we go and we destroy them over here. Yeah, so this is pretty fun. What could be more fun than this? It's also, some people say it's like Asteroids. I don't think this game's much like Asteroids. It looks like Asteroids, but it's not exactly. This is very different from Asteroids. Not very many people have ever heard of this game before, which, is kind of no surprise considering that, it's not in very many collections. It kind of is an obscure game in that sense. There actually is an Atari 2600 version of this game, which I actually have. It's not that great, though. You think with the Atari 2600 could do a good job at something like this. You know how great the Atari 2600 was. There's also a ColecoVision version of this game, which isn't that great either. So I don't know if I'll make a video. That's been a long time since I last made videos of Atari games or ColecoVision games, but I still got plans for some of those. I remember 2 years ago I started my channel. This YouTube channel of mine really exploded with views and subscribers. And back in those days, I mostly played Atari and ColecoVision games. That's all I was able to really capture at the time. That's all I really made videos of at the time. Was that this level is probably the most difficult level in the game. It's 1970s. I imagine you're in Vietnam or somewhere like that. And there's those helicopters. They're they're like cockroaches. They're extremely hard to get rid of. They're almost impossible to get rid of. They're very small moving targets that move very fast. No wonder why America lost the Vietnam War. It's no surprise if they did. I actually would be surprised if they did win this war. Because how did they do that? How did America win a pointless war? Well, they're about to win. Look at that. Just like that. I got out of it. I don't know how was this luck? A lot of this game is lucky, the luck of the Irish if you want to get through this game. This level's a little bit easier, but still kind of tricky. It's 1982, present day, when the game was made. This game came out in 1982, I think. And then here, we're pretty much fighting with our equal. Those jet things are fighting against are pretty much the same as us, only they're faster, and they're probably about just as equally as big of a target as us too. I think this game deserves a remake. They should remake this game with new graphics and you could add all sorts of new stuff. Remember back in the 90s when that was a big thing? When they'd remake Tetris and Pong and they'd remake games and things like that, and Pac-Man, things like that, and they'd add all sorts of stuff into it and they make it. I actually really like those games. I actually kind of miss those days when they made games like that. I remember Hasbro Interactive was behind a lot of those, or was the name behind a lot of those, Atari and Hasbro Interactive. And does Hasbro Interactive still exist these days? I have no idea. I'm not sure if Konami, I think Konami may have done stuff like that. And this game was made back when Konami's logo was still like a swirly line kind of thing, like a circus a swirl line kind of thing. And it says Konami. I remember they had that logo back in the 90s. I remember back in I played SNES games that had that logo at the beginning of them. You know, like the Batman game on the SNES. Yeah, I don't know what Batman game was. It was Batman Returns on the SNES had that logo at the beginning. That was really good. Batman Returns is one of my favorite games on the SNES. And as you see here now, we are in space, as you can see here, shooting down aliens that probably want to invade our world in the year 2001, because I totally remember 2001, when aliens came to visit our world, and there were astronauts stranded in space, and there's like asteroids everywhere. They probably blew up our world, and that's what's left of our world, and those people are like civilians, like the last family on Earth kind of thing, like in Robotron 2084. I totally remember that. That was the most memorable thing of 2001. Everyone feared aliens in 2001. Everyone knew the world would end in 2001. People thought 2000 was the year it was going to happen. No, they were wrong. It was 2001 was when the world ended. But wait a minute, 2001 was 20 years ago now. If the world ended 20 years ago, that must mean I must not be in this world right now. I must be in some other weird world, just a figment of my imagination. Oh, crap. Well, see here, we defeated 2001, and look at that. We're back in 1910. Where there's these, the biplanes again. It's like in a lot of games, there's an era where once you get to the end of the game, it just takes you back to the beginning, but now the game's going to be substantially harder. Yep, that's totally what games of this era did, and that's what we're going through now. We're probably not going to get much further in this game. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what Time Pilot is. It's just 5 levels and warps back to the beginning, and you fight evil in the past, present, and future. So, this is Ray Phoenix, signing out.